My one testing. 1, 2, 2. My 2 testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. My 3 testing. 1, 2, 3, 4. My 4 testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the internship fair this afternoon. I'd like to first invite our Dean of Social Science, Professor William Hayward, to speak with us.
For this one, okay. Welcome, everyone. So I'll be brief. I've got two important things to do. The first important thing is to say thank you very much to all our community partners who are here, without whom this enterprise would be impossible. And its success, and I'll speak a little bit about that shortly, is really due to the collaboration that we have within the Faculty of Social Sciences at the university with all our community partners. So we're really grateful to you all. We hope that it's a win-win, that our students get a great experience, but that also hopefully you as our partners also get benefit from it. But it's really valuable to us to have your involvement. So thank you to everyone from our community partners who are here. The reason that we like to collaborate with our community partners is because this kind of aspect of learning, experiential learning, is something that we in the Faculty of Social Sciences are very proud of. We've really taken a leadership role in this activity at the University of Hong Kong, and now through the university this is becoming a more significant aspect of undergraduate education. And the reason for that is quite simply that we know that it's quite easy for us to offer a typical classroom situation. It's good for our scheduling. It's easy for the professor to, write up some PowerPoint slides. It's pretty easy for you guys to sit there and, look at the slides and remember some things and sit an exam. That's all pretty easy learning. The trouble is we know that that kind of learning is very narrow, right? And so prepares you for the world to some degree, certainly not discounting that, but there's a lot more to learning. There's a lot more to acquiring the skills that you need to leave the university as a graduate and help lead others imbued with important values, understanding the ways that you can create change around you. All those sorts of things are not well taught in the kind of PowerPoint lecture passive student model. So what we've needed to do is to revolutionize the way that we think about the learning experience, and that's where experiential learning comes in, that we've realized that you need to participate in these much more active learning experiences. And what we want to do is, in the same way that the university sees its mission as being a globally relevant university, but one that speaks to the local community in a very direct way, we want to do that within our learning as well. So we want you, while you're learning about these very complex conceptual aspects of your various social science disciplines, we want you to also have the experience of working with people, working on real problems, and finding out how that actually works in practice when you're actually interfacing with real people, for example. And of course, that turns out to be a little different than we teach you in our very interesting lectures. So this is a really, really important part of our teaching. It's why we in the Faculty of Social Sciences put a lot of efforts to it. I also just want to take a little bit of time just to say thank you to our experiential learning team, who are kind of all sitting here, also led by Professor Sampson-Zaire, who's really been one of the drivers. So this whole team has really moved this program to where it's very highly respected within the university and within the community. So I'll leave it there to the team to take over, but I really just want to say that this is something that we really highly prioritize. I really hope that the students, you have a great experience. I hope that the community partners also have a really, really good experience. Please feel free, if you have any feedback, the team are very pleased to get it, but I as the Dean am also happy to have it, so please contact me if you have anything that you want to kind of feedback about this. But yeah, just really hope that this is a really good experience for you all, and hope pleased to kick off this internship fair. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hayward. And now may I invite Professor Sampson-Zaire, our Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education and Director of Experiential Learning, to share with us.
Hello. Good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Well, first day coming back to the university for your new semester, and welcome to the internship fair. Guys, what I am going to do are mainly two things. Number one, there are basic information I want you to know while you are making a very important decision about, in this case, how are you going to spend your 2 months precious time over summer. Do I explain myself? Number two, what I want you to do is I want to invite you to this space to think about how best you can be get yourself prepared for this, in my view, a very, very precious opportunity. Okay, so basically that is what we are going to do. In particular, I want to let you know we are super pleased to have our community partners being with us this afternoon. After the time we spend in this room, we actually will have our community partners standing outside, joining our expo, if you like, to talk more about the places they offer for your internship, and also for you to ask questions, and in some cases, you may want to impress them as well. How diligent you are, how hard you want to try, and how much or goodies you may bring to the placement, okay? So think about that. Before we go any further, I want to play this YouTube. Hey, you may have watched this 2002 or many other versions in other circumstances perhaps. But this afternoon, I want to play this video in this context. In the context of, well, I'm here now. What I'm going to do with my life as far as career is concerned. Wow, 2 minutes, 41 seconds, okay? Creativity will be highly valued by companies. Well, the song we are singing here is really to say that, including Hong Kong Jew, we work very hard to prepare our students for the 21st century. And the theme we are saying here is, well, there are 4 important qualities we want to spend time with our students, okay? The next one, yeah, okay. The 4 important qualities we are looking for. Number 1, critical thinking. Number 2, communication. Number 3 is collaboration. The ability our students are able to work with their peers, in other cases maybe with their supervisors. And then the last one is creativity. I don't need to repeat again, but I think what Dean Hayward, just before his departure, has emphasized so much. We need to do things beyond the regular classroom. It is exactly where we come in, introducing experiential learning. Pretty much what we're going to cover this afternoon, I will cover the first and the second, and then we will have ex-interns sharing about their experience, and also we will have the community partner to join us and to highlight as a community partner what sort of qualities are they looking for. Because guys, you need to realize the university, the faculty has done a lot in terms of pulling the placements together. But which one you are going to go to, it is through your application. Is it pretty clear? So we don't assign you. So in other words, you need to prepare yourself for your CV, for your interview. And that's exactly the community partner person and speaker will spend time on that. And then we will finish the session before doing that and go through some of the procedural details. So pretty much what we will do. Well, I got a very sort of simple introduction as far as experiential learning is concerned. But personally, I love this quote because I think it makes very good sense to young people like yourself. Regardless of the path students, including yourself, eventually will take in terms of your career, in terms of your aspiration. Internship through experiential learning, internship through doing, help students to explore your interests, to explore your value, to clarify your values. And I think the last one is important. Not only explore, not only to sort of identify, but also to test your knowledge in a new settings. In this case, will be real-life situations, okay? You do a major in politics, you do a major in geography. Well, how those critical thinking and how those skills may be applied in real workplace, I think would be very interesting to find out. The learning outcomes of the internship will be the following. You guys are absolutely super smart. I'm not going to repeat them, but it's to do with social awareness. In some cases, you may work with your community partner to promote social innovation, to problem solve in a creative way, and also making contribution and making connection with your academic knowledge. And those are the learning outcomes. I have 2 slides here to summarize the features. Number 1, it is a real credit experiential learning, which is trial credit, and also with our arrangement is a non-paid internship, okay? It is a great deal of opportunity to learn heaps, and to make it non-paid will make the opportunities, options more diverse, more colorful, more rich for our students' learning. You are going to work individually or a small group. I want to plant the seeds of 3 letters, SLI, Service Leadership Internship. SLI, are you going to remember that? SLI? Well, SLI is an internship students where are going to work in small groups, okay? Small group, anything between 2 and 5, okay? For example, think about it. Do you want to do it solo, or you want to work it in a small group with a given task prior to even you go to the site? The other features is we have local and non-local. In a minute, I will show you the map, how our non-local placements look like. Dual supervision, you have support and supervision from the supervisor on site provided by the community partner, and also there will be a teacher sent from Hong Kong Zoo to maintain contact with you via in-person visit, via emails, or some other means of communication. And then the other one is ongoing guidance. In other words, we realize how precious 2 months are for you. And also, in real life situation, we all know things don't work out perfect every time, okay? So the ongoing guidance and ongoing support is incredibly important, and we commit to do exactly that. And this is just a kind of diagrammatic way to summarize what I have said. The additional remarks here is the assessments, okay? We have sort of 4 pieces of, 3 pieces of work. One is to do with your performance, writing an essay, relay your work experience to your major, and also you will do a presentation, and you all don't worry about assessments. Why? Because you're going to do it extremely well. Okay, let's keep going. Guys, I think here the decision for you is, are you going to do a term time internship? Meaning, well, I protect my summer and I will go to internship, either 2 half-days a week or 1 whole day a week. So are you thinking about it, or you are planning to do a summer internship, which will take 2 months of your summer? Okay, and basically we have pulled out some sort of considerations for you. For example, we have more vacancies for summer. We have more intensive full immersion, meaning you will go to one single workplace continuously for 2 months instead of you pop in sort of here and there once or twice a week. Do I explain myself? So there is a difference. Which one you want to take, think about it, okay? As far as this meeting is concerned, we are largely focusing on summer internship for the rest of the material. And here is to show you the statistics of the number of places we offer local internship going overseas. And also we have service leadership, what I call SLI, and also SLI, they are in local, and you can see we have almost 460 places. Compared to term time, maybe we are talking about, say, 100 places. So in that regard, you can see the plus and minus. Well, this is another way to explain how the internship looks like. And basically, this is the social innovation internship. We have the local or non-local. So it is learning through doing. And SLI, as I mentioned earlier, only provides in summer, and also students will work in small group, and also much more extensive orientation, e.g. team building, e.g. values clarification, and so forth. Likewise, we also have internship going overseas, and here I want to introduce a strange, horrible English, GLOCAL, G-L-O-C-A-L. Well, basically is to act, or think local, but act global. So it's global. No, I mix it up. Anyway, with this project for this summer, those are the exact locations we are going to have placement on. The like of Sri Lanka, Vietnam, South Africa, and also Gongsi, am I correct? Gongsi in China, okay? To put it in a kind of world map situation, this is where we are, or how the places look like. Hey, I want to draw your attention. There are 2 implications by looking at the map there. Number 1, expenses. The kind of rough estimation, the further you travel, more costly the placement will be. Number two, the nature of exposure. E.g., if you travel sort of relatively further away from home, the non-local, the multicultural, culturally rich experience will be more available, if you know what I mean. So I think that is how the map works for you. Think about it. I'm absolutely proud. I'm absolutely grateful to my team to be able to secure such a colorful range of places. Keep going. We have not only local, non-local, working in individual and team, a small group, but also we classify our internships into the following 5 categories. The impression is we have relatively less places in corporate social responsibility, but for communication, media and culture and community social services, they each has about 20% of the total number of places, okay? So in other words, when you think about your placements you're going to embark on, you can think about local or non-local, think about individual group, or even the nature of experience you are going to embark on. So this is one consideration. When we finish this afternoon, you guys are going to take a booklet. In fact, in this program, if you look at the booklet here, the booklet sort of, if I'm reading it, will be the right top corner, will tell you the nature of the category. So you may want to think about that. Okay, well, what I'm going to do, I'll show you a couple of important informations. Number one, what I'm showing you is the student evaluation from last year. If you look at the plots here, up to 91% students consider their experiential learning experience fruitful, meaningful. I enjoyed it. And those people sort of strongly agree and agree we group them together. In this case, we had up to 91 students falling into this category. In terms of academic and experiential learning, so up to the 80%, this one is a useful reminder. If I'm doing psychology, if I'm doing counseling, if I'm doing sociology, you may not have the perfect match in terms of the academic area and also the placement. A, if you work hard, if you sort of perform well when you're applying the places, you may get it. And B, if you don't get it, you can still use the opportunity to think about the link between academic knowledge and the experiential learning. In some cases, you need to be quite creative, and that will be aided by the teacher sent by Hong Kong Ju. Okay, I don't go to details, but just to explain to you perhaps why this category didn't work perfectly. The rest, I think we are seeing students are doing quite well, enjoying the opportunity to apply their critical thinking, to polish, in some cases, maybe to mature their research skills as well. Well, please, ladies and gentlemen, my students, please, please, please look at this slide. What I'm trying to say is we work hard to put the experiential learning experience together. We had a review meeting consistent with other regular academic courses. We had a review meeting involving the dean to review the students' feedback, to review the feedback from community partners, your settled scores, okay? We will look at all those things, and I want to offer you a glimpse of what we learned from students' feedback, from the community partners' feedback, and also the changes we have made for this year. Again, we want to give you the best, ideal, optimal learning experience. The improvement including the following category in terms of the structure, e.g. now this year you can upload your own CV because there were community partners in some cases. Look, I enjoy the student CV, but only in English. I'm not most proficient in English. Can you submit your CV in in Chinese? Can you present your CV in a graphical form? So this year we allow this format. A, you can still fill in the existing template to complete your CV. B, if you want to be more creative, you want to impress people, you may download your own CV. And now we have that function, learning from your feedback. The other thing is we are going to take the writing skills interview preparation in-house because our teachers know the best what the CP are looking for. So we are going to do those in-house. I'm not going to go through everything, but I'd love to draw your attention to a couple of things. Learning opportunities, we have more new CP joining us. And also we sunset, also we closely monitor the experience offered by our CP. So I want to assure you, we listen to your comments. In some cases, for a variety of reasons, the experience was not the best. We look at that very closely. What I want to inform you as a community is this, what we call student-initiated internship. You know that, do you? Students initiate internship. Put up your hand if you know that. I'm serious. Not a lot. Well, I want to let you know we carry on to have this option, meaning you can find your own placement for your own internship. What a wonderful opportunity. Last 2 years, we did not do very well. We had only 3 or 5 successful students initiate internship. This year, we had about 6 successful students, and also altogether bring about 10 places initiated by students. In order to promote that, we even have specific information session for student initiated experience, okay? It may be unreal where you are now, because where you are now, you don't have that option. You need to look at the places we offered you. But if you are sitting here thinking, oh, summer, this summer, I have so many other interesting things to do, I'm not going to take your summer option, then you will have time to bring together your own initiated placement for the year after. Okay, so I still want to let you know. Well, I think I will keep going. Another thing we hear from the students is assessment and reflections, bullet point, more flexibility, and presentation sessions. Guys, how it works is like this. You will be assigned to a particular time when you finish your internship to come back and do a presentation about your experience. For those students, for example, or I should say, for non-local students, you may want to do it earlier so that you finish everything and go home and have a good time. Or Samson, forget about it. I don't want to do anything. I want to come and do the presentation at the beginning of the semester. Okay, so we allow this flexibility. Details, Ken will talk about it. Okay, the key message are 2. Number 1, we take the comments absolutely seriously. And number 2, we endeavor, we work very hard to provide you quality learning experience. Okay, I need to keep going. Well, what is happening is a survey I want you to do. When we work students, we pull out those are the common reasons how they chose their placements. Are you with me? Okay, so you have almost 450 places. You have this and that. But Samson, which one do I go to? We suspect those are the very, very common reasons. What I want you to do is, would you please go to your mobile device? I mean, you have been such a good audience. I don't think anyone look at your mobile phone. Now you can do it, okay? Hey, guys, can you do that? Can you do that for me? Go to this website, and then the event code is 494213. And there are 6 options. I want you to quiet your mind and think about it. When you are going to make up your mind, what sort of placement would you go to? I want you to take the 3 most important considerations in your case. Can you do that? It's your quiet, reflective time. You need the code. Yes, sorry. Yes. 494213. 494213. there are 6 considerations. Can you rate, can you check 3 most important considerations for you? Have you made up your mind? Have you done that? Yeah? Okay. Okay, guys, I want to give you 1 minute. Talk to the person next to you, either left or right. Okay, share with the person why that particular one. Can you do that? Quick, now, 1 minute, go. Okay, why you pick up that one? Go, 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 please, 1 minute. Okay. Cool. Okay, that's fine. I think you are doing very well. Thank you for taking part in the exercise. Well, we are going to look at the results. We are going to look at the result when we come to the end, okay? We will have the opportunity to look at the result together. So lovely, you actually talk to the person next to you, because I think that's exactly what experiential learning is about. Real interaction, talking people in blood and flesh. What I would like to do is just to say, well, often how do students choose their placement would be like your objective in terms of either learning something new or extending your personal comfort zone. The other thing is greatly to do with your talents is an important consideration. What you're good at that may ensure you have a good experience, for example, or the opposite case, argue the same as well. I'm not good at something. I want to take that opportunity exactly for maturing and polishing my skills. And then the last one is your aspiration. Okay, pretty much that brings to the end of my intro and also warm-up. Again, your exercise, we will look at that when we come to the end of this afternoon meeting. Hey, I'd like to introduce 2 ex-interns to come on and join me to share their experience. In my view, I think they have some very, very amazing experience. We have Daniel and his aspiration. Daniel, who is Daniel? Daniel is here. Daniel has the aspiration to open therapy shop. Okay, a variety of therapeutics modality, and I should say therapy shop Z, just in case his aspiration is more than one. Okay, and also we have Haken. And he has an aspiration of doing a master degree in art therapist. What we have done is to invite them to come forward, taking turn, do a bit of presentation, and we'll be focusing on 3 things: the C, the F, and also the S. The challenge, the frustration, okay, and also the S, which is the success or surprises, okay? And they will take turn to do that. Please give them some big noise.
Thank you, Professor. Thank you. Oh, sorry. Yes. So my name is Daniel, and I'll be talking about my experiences being an intern with World Vision Vietnam, which took place in a place called Hưng Yên Province, 85 kilometers east to Hanoi. So for me, setting aside the everyday challenges, like being in a new environment where I don't speak the languages, for most of the interns there, it was our first time actually working in an organization. So we had all these everyday challenges, but then setting aside those, I think the most haunting questions for us that we had were these kind of existential questions, which were, why are we here and what can we do? So after all, we were just interns, so we thought maybe, you know, we were the bottom of the pyramid. We were at the bottom of the pyramid, so we can't really do anything. And also, we were just foreigners who don't really speak Vietnamese. We needed a translator for us to communicate directly with the local people. But then we actually realized that these kind of questions were actually self-limiting for us. Our primary goal of going to Vietnam was actually to build a school library in a primary school, Trung Dong Primary School. So we had this big framework where we were to do our work. But then I think for our interns, we found each of our ways to kind of utilize our interests and apply them to this big framework. So for instance, we worked with engineering students to design this thermal bottle holder so that the children wouldn't get burned by the hot water inside by tipping them off. Also, we did data analysis on the reading habits of the children, which were kind of tied to disciplines of psychology or sociology. And also, we designed a website to post stories of the villagers. And we also made we also held exhibitions and made videos and photos, took photos, and then had them at the library. Also, I talked about our limitations being foreigners, but then we actually realized that our being foreign was actually an asset to us. For instance, because we were foreigners, the children in our classes we had with the children, they were actually interested in us, and they were more attentive. And also, the villagers were very welcoming. We had a chance to visit their homes, the translators' homes, the villagers' homes, and we had a chance to roam around the region. And these kind of, the stories they kind of told us actually gave us some insights that actually helped us formulating these strategies for preventing children's injuries. For example, in the villages we visited, there's a lot of ponds. And then they always had these kind of drowning accidents for children. So we actually wondered, why do they still keep the ponds there? Why did they just not get rid of it? But then the stories the villagers and the translators told us was that the ponds were actually a historical artifact, and also they were a part of the village ecosystem. So in the 1960s, the President Ho Chi Minh, who is still revered to this day, actually advocated the use of ponds in the food production system. So we had to think of ways to cope with the ponds. For instance, helping them get swimming classes instead of just eliminating the ponds altogether. So I just wanted to go back to these questions. So I wanted to say that I had this internship experience, but then I don't think I have the answer, the ultimate answer to these questions. But then I hope that you guys will try to answer them by your own and formulate your own answers. I think for me, being open and trying to take a lot of initiatives in the internship actually helped me formulate my own answers. So yeah, that's it for my sharing. Thank you.
Hello. So good afternoon, everyone. I'm Haken. So first of all, I would like to start off by saying a big thank you to the faculty for inviting me to speak about my internship experience today. So I was part of the SLI part of the internship, and last summer I worked at an organization called Autism Partnership. It specializes in using behavioral therapy to treat children with autism. So for me, as a psychology and counseling student, I had a lot of fun working with the children there. It is my passion to be in a working environment where I can interact with different people. And for me, personally, it's very fruitful to be able to be a part of the process of change in somebody's life. I also had a lot of fun trying to apply the knowledge I've learned in classes here to the real world setting and in practical environments. So during this internship, I also became a vlogger. Now, I may hear some of you ask, Haken, what does this have to do with working at an autism organization? So basically, we were given a video production project at the end of our internship to promote autism awareness. So being the complete amateurs we were, we had no idea how to make a video, and we spent quite a lot of time trying to brainstorm and to revise our script. And we were given 2 weeks, and we actually spent quite a lot of time figuring out things, and it left us with 3 days to actually film and edit and finalize all the video. But I would say we managed to do it at the end because we communicated regularly with our supervisors and also fellow interns. And also for our group, we developed common goals together, and we would take up tasks that played to our strengths as well. So since we worked so hard for this video, I'd like to spend some time to just shamelessly promote it. Go to the website of Autism Partnership and you'll see the video. Click on it and leave us a like. I mean, as a bonus, you're going to learn more about what an internship is like, and you're going to learn about autism as well. So why not? So moving on to the surprises of the internship. I remember there was one morning, probably 2 or 3 weeks after I submitted my internship application. So I had just woken up and I was curling up in my bed, probably watching a YouTube video, and suddenly there comes a phone call saying, "Hi, is this Haken To? We're from Autism Partnership." So as you can imagine, I shot up from my bed and my heart was just racing. As ways to wake yourself up in the morning and feel alive, this is probably better than coffee, I would say. So the good thing is I managed to do some preparation beforehand. I went to their website and did some research. So I was able to give some half-decent answers to them. So please, whether you're having a scheduled interview or not, please be prepared. So I'd just like to end my sharing here today with 4 things I've learned from my internship. First, be curious. Don't be afraid to ask more questions, and don't expect people in the workplace to tell you everything. You have to take the initiative to ask questions and to learn more yourself. Second of all, be courageous. There will be times in the internship where you'll feel challenged or you feel that you're out of your comfort zone. I just want to say, don't be afraid of failure and don't be afraid of trying. Of course, there will be some of you here who are thinking, Haken, but this is a 12-credit course, and I'm just worried about my GPA. I can reassure you, the lessons you learn from trying and even from failure is way more valuable than the grades you get, which is probably temporary just for your degree. So the third thing, be passionate about what you do. That is especially important, I would say, when the going gets tough, because you're internally motivated to keep carry on. And last but not least, please, no matter what job you end up getting or what task you're doing at hand, please be grateful about it. Even if it seems boring or insignificant to you at this time, maybe in the future you're going to look back and I'm pretty sure it's going to be useful or helpful in some way. If it's boring, you might look back and say, okay, it helped develop my patience. Or if it's insignificant, probably you're going to look back and say, okay, I did that, but it helped me achieve something greater that I can do today. For me, myself, this experience has taught me the most important thing is the attitude you need to have in the workplace. So I will leave you guys with these 4 qualities. Be curious, be courageous, be passionate, and be grateful. So this is the end of my sharing today. Thank you very much.
Okay, guys, I have a couple of questions to interrogate them. And while our sharing goes on for a little bit more, I'd like to invite you also whether you have 1 or 2 questions for them. Can you do that? I think asking good question is a good experience. Okay, maybe Daniel and Haken, my question here is how did you end up with this internship?
Okay, So for me, I think I needed to consider a more practical side of the internship. So speaking as an international student, I had to eliminate those that required fluent Mandarin or Cantonese. Yeah. So and then also I needed to consider my finances. So I worked overseas. So I had to think whether I'd be able to support myself through the whole internship. And I think lastly, what you want to do is consider the visa requirement, because sometimes the companies don't really explicitly state out the visa requirements. And I was actually rejected from one company because I was not of a Chinese nationality. So I think it's wise of you to check it out before you apply.
Well, for me, I considered my application from 3 areas. So first of all is my passion. Like, if you're going to choose a job that you're not passionate about, you're going to wake up every day feeling like, oh, like, when is the weekend coming? Like, but if you choose a job you're passionate about, you're going to wake up every day feeling excited and looking forward to your job. So the second thing is your experience. For me, when I look back at my CV, the past few years, I've been working with children with autism. So naturally, that was the option I was going to choose. And third of all, it's your strength. Like, get to know yourself, what strengths and what things you can contribute to the organization. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Second last question. While we all listened to your sharing, I think you did make some comments already about the preparation for CV and also preparation for interview. What are your thoughts on that? Hicken, maybe?
For me, I think it's important not just to tell the community partners what you expect to get from them, but also what you can potentially contribute to them in the workplace.
Okay.
For me, I'll just talk at the interview. So for me, my personal experience, sometimes the partner asked me to their office, and then they did not tell me that I was having an interview. But then they're like, "Hey, why not have an interview right now?" So I think it's nice.
So you went just for a coffee, you thought?
Oh, I thought I was just meeting them to talk about the position. But then they were like, "Why not interview right now?" So I think it's important for you to be on your toes. And also, I think sometimes in another interview, they actually gave me a test.
A test?
Yeah, a test. Because all of my skills, I wrote Korean as one of my languages, so they wanted me to translate Korean to English. So yeah. I think if you wrote something on your skills, on the skills section of the CV, be prepared. Yeah.
Yeah. So make sure it's hard, it's skin. It's hard. It's good. Well, I guess the last question to finish this round. Any final thoughts in terms of the advice for your peers? 1 or 2 things, Daniel.
For me, I think rather than focusing on what kind of brand name or what kind of company name would look good on your resume, I think.
Can you say that again?
Oh, like rather than focusing on the name of the organization that would look good on your resume, I want you to think more about what kind of work you're going to do and what kind of things you're going to learn from the organization.
Okay. So is the job description on the booklet you're going to review, not only the company name. Yeah. Thank you. Hicken, any last thoughts?
I would say whatever job you end up with, like, find something that means something to you, because like finding a job that's meaningful to you will actually motivate you. And last but not least, remember to work hard and to have fun and enjoy the internship. Thank you.
Okay. Any 1 or 2 questions? Any 1 or 2 questions, please. Or shall we answer? No. Okay, any 1 or 2 questions? Please. 1 or 2 questions. Thank you. Very good. Yeah. Okay. Hicken?
Sorry, I was distracted by
the question is, while you went out for your placement, did you work with one supervisor, one team, or actually you move around at a greater level of exposure?
Right. So we had to report to one supervisor, but in the actual job, everyday job, like we actually follow different therapists every 2 weeks.
Okay. So quite a variety. Daniel, how did it work for you?
Yeah, for us, we had one main supervisor, but then within the organization, there are other groups. So, and we had 20 interns, so we were split into other groups, and we were actually assigned to each categories. So we actually had sub managers and managers.
So one or two people chiefly responsible too, but otherwise had a bit of varieties as well. I think we better stop here, given the time. Thank you again, and put our hands together for Daniel and Haken. Thank you.
Thank you, Samson. Thank you, Daniel and Haken. So now may I invite Ms. Alice Lai, the Assistant Manager of Corporate Social Responsibility Team in KPMG.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice. I work in the Corporate Social Responsibility Team in KPMG. So I'm actually one of Hong Kong U graduates, and I'm happy to see you guys, younger fellow schoolmates. So today's my sharing is about internship application. So actually every year I have to review quite a lot of CV from your fellow schoolmates. So just a bit of sharing, so help you guys to, just a bit of guidance for you guys to see how you can be selected in the recruitment process by the recruiter. So as you may know, before I start, who have actually applied for internship before and has worked before? Can you raise your hand? So who's going to have the first internship this summer? The first internship. So I see quite a lot of hands. So probably these are presentational sharings will be useful for you guys. So I'm going through different stage in the recruitment process for an intern. So basically you need to search for jobs and then submit your CV. And basically, there are quite a number of assessment tools that you will go through in the recruitment process, depending on which company you apply for. It includes some online, like say, for example, online assessment, if you have heard of, like verbal reasoning or numerical test, if you are applying for financial institutes, some group assessment and individual assessment. So I will go through it in details afterwards. And afterwards, you can get a job offer. You can go through all these assessments successfully. So for job searching, so I think the most important thing, as a professor has also shared about some of the jobs that may be of your interest. So before you apply for a job, I think it's very important for you to understand what kind of things that you like. And just like Haken, he also mentioned, passion is very important. Are you passionate about the job that you apply? Actually, the employees, the recruiter can actually feel that or knows that during the interview process. So before you start the whole recruitment process, you need to understand yourself. What are your career aspirations? What is your value, interest, what you want to be after graduation? So it's very important that you know, if you are decided to, like say, for example, you are going to be a clinical psychologist in the future. So you have to apply for jobs that are related to that field. Not related to CSR or anything, but if you decided to be a clinical psychologist, so you need to work in, like, say, for NGOs or some healthcare center. So you are targeted to, in that sense, that you can help you get a better job after graduation. So ask yourself and understand yourself. The second part is understand the company. So I also have encountered some candidates that when they came to the interview, they don't really know what your company is about. So it's very interesting that, why you apply for that job if you don't understand the company, you don't understand the roles. So you have to, you just Google it. It's very easy for you to get the information. So you just go before the interviews or before the job searchings, you go and have a look at the company's website so that get to a better sense of what that companies actually offers for different candidates. So research and plan for your careers is key. And a lot of times, don't underestimate the opportunity that you can get in an internships. Sometimes the job may be tedious, may be boring, but just don't care about it. The experience can be really fruitful, and just look at the bigger picture. Maybe you can build a better network with the people you work there. And maybe in some time in the future, then you can get the connections and you can return to get go to that company, or that company can refer to a better role in another company. So don't underestimate the opportunities that you can get from the job. And it can also pave the way for your future career. So for CV submissions, so my experience is I look at quite a lot of CV submitted by your previous schoolmates. Well, actually, the CV that I received is a standardized form. So you make an online application, you have to do a personal statement, and actually those items are quite standardized. So I'm trying to talk about it specifically for this social science internship. So get the basics right. Meaning that you need to get the most basic contact information, your email address. If you are overseas students, please leave your Hong Kong telephone number, because it actually gives the life of a recruiter easier. You know, it's very difficult if you got me a Korean phone number and well, I need to look up and then I need to check. And just let's come to the second point: is that put yourself in the shoes of the recruiter. The recruiter has to they have to review a lot of CVs from different people, and probably they just got 1 or 2 openings. So just help them make their life easier, and just like be precise and be clean in your submissions in terms of your CV presentation. So because like if you are applying for jobs through this faculty, then it's very good they have an online application system, so it can you can just fill in those important information. But you're also required to write a personal statement in your application. So you have to structure your kind of personal statement to show the most important information on the top and the front, and how it is relevant to yourself and the company. I just share one of the experience or one of the CV that I have read recently and reviewed recently, and I actually hired that intern. Is that she has a experience in one of our KPMG CSR programs. She works as a volunteer coordinator. So she actually reads our website and understands that this is one of our CSR programs. So that's why we think, oh, actually she might have some experience in CSR, or she is interested in at least some educational programs. So that's helped her to increase her chance to being selected from the rest of the CVs. So tailor your personal statement. That's very important. Well, I know you might have a lot of very different types of jobs, but you have to be really specific and tailor-made your CV for each recruiter, because don't try to use a general personal statement for all the jobs. You know, the recruiter can see it, they understand, and you just don't get it because you just don't get the offer because of these simple acts. So show your passions and interests in the CV as much as possible. So this is very important. Also show some understanding. As I mentioned in the last example, that girl actually mentioned something about our CSR program, how it relevant to her own experience. That really helped adds up her marks. So try to be just to try to make that relevance to our job and how it's relevant to you. So sometimes I also this is very important. We just judge you based on your work. So we don't know you, right? We just have that 3 minutes to understand you through your CV. So you actually you are what you produce, right? So we try to make sure that all your grammars are correct, and if you're not confident about your language ability, try to get someone or try to get our friends who are good at English or Chinese to review your CV before you submit it. It's very simple, but these simple acts can actually help you add marks for your recruitment process. Okay, I will go through the assessment, but just a very brief descriptions. So the online applications and written assessment. So the aptitude test that you may go through depending on which companies you apply for. So it got verbal. If you just Google it, you can get a verbal reasoning, numerical reasoning, and also inductions reasoning. And also some written tests that are required by the recruiter. And the second one is the group assessment, and also it may encompass group discussions and also some group presentation. And individual interviews is one-on-one interviews or some individual presentation. So if you are going to apply for a CSR internship role, we're going to most likely we will arrange one-on-one interviews and some written tests for the candidates to go through. So I just list out some different types of assessment for your information. So for one-on-one interviews, so before you come, make sure you have professional business attire. That's very important. So I guess, well, actually, this is not a problem from my past experience. So I guess you guys will wear professionally. Attitudes and passion is very important. As you may know, you have to show your passions to show your passion to the recruiter. You really have to understand what kind of job you're applying and what's the company's background. So do some research. Do not be lazy. You have to really understand that company, especially say, for example, you're interested in our company's CSR program. You can just Google and you can see, you can check out our KPMG website and you can see a lot of information is available there. So just try to prepare. Actually, I have one experience that one of the candidates, past candidates, she came to our interviews and I asked her about some, well, do you know what is our CSR focus? Do you know what are our CSR focus areas? Well, it's about environment, okay, education. Okay, that's very general. Okay, then after a few questions, you just know, oh, you just haven't read our website, our brochures. It's all available online. So if you are interested in a particular job, just make sure you go to the website and look at their company's information. And also, it's another way that you can know about the department or the particular role better is that you can just try to search it through LinkedIn. Type the company name and also that particular department. So you got a lot of information available that you can know, and you can see what are the jobs requirements from the CV of those people on LinkedIn. So understand your career aspiration is very important because just like what I said, if you are interested in clinical side, you just go for a clinical side. You can be really honest to yourself why you want to get that particular job, right? Because you're so determined to get it because of all this past experience or anything that related to it. So language, well, actually our CSR roles is available in Hong Kong, Beijing, and Shanghai. So we will also test our candidates' Mandarin skills, Cantonese, and English. So be prepared. So just a brief background about KPMG, as you may know. So we are one of the professional firms. So we offer three main services: tax, audit, and advisory service. And we also have our functions called infrastructure where CSR belongs. So we also set up a charity called KPMG Foundation in 2008. So it governs all the CSR program that is run by KPMG. So if you are interested in working with KPMG, we are going to offer placement opportunities into departments. So one is in my department, so corporate social responsibility team. And the other one, this is new to this program. So we will offer 2 placement opportunities in the ESG department. So, so just let me give you a very brief background, what kind of information, what kind of requirements that we need from a interns for CSR first. So CSR is an internal department that belongs to the infrastructure team. So we'll mainly require students to help assisted in a lot of development of communication materials, organize some awareness buildings, events for the CSR department, and it also have some research that requires conduct some research on CSR topics, for example, carbon audit, inclusion, diversity, etc. And for the ESG role is an external and client-facing department. So if you have heard of some recent news is that the environmental socials governance report, the ESG report, has to be has to be done by all the listed companies since 2016. So the interns working for that department will be helping with the reporting and disclosures assignments by that team. So some three key takeaways before I open up the floor again. So get a professional CV, very important. Try to make it as professional as possible, check the grammars and etc. And show your best qualities on the top and be precise as well. So the second part is prepared for an interviews. You need to understand yourself, understand your career aspirations, understand the companies and the job that you apply for. The final one is that we are providing a very great learning opportunity. So look forward to seeing some of you very soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Please stay. May I invite Professor Samson See to present a souvenir to Alice. Yes, thank you, Alice. Thank you, Samson. And now may I invite Mr. Ken Yao, our Assistant Director of the Experiential Learning Team, to talk about the application procedures.
Okay, thank you very much. And after about hours presentation, the overview, the programs and sharings from Alice and our past interns, hopefully you have a lot of ideas and emotions to apply. So, but don't worry, the application will start at 6 p.m. today, so not yet start. And we'll leave you a week for you to apply until noon on the coming next Monday. So I will leave you a week for you to apply. And I can show you the online system. Okay. Sorry. Okay, so we have always we have a different kind of challenges. So just like you're going through in the internship. So, but before we go to the online system, but we will go through the strategies for you to apply the internship. Remember, as mentioned by Alice, and we will put our online application with your CV and your personal statement, and we will have a tailor-made platform for you. And you have to select up to 3 placement, maximum 3. And we will have 3 rounds of selection for CV. And so that you will, okay, on the online system, you go here and you can, before you log in the system to select your interested placement, you can go to see all the important days, the internship period, application periods. Particularly the rounds here, you can see the different rounds, because as mentioned, probably the partners may need to spend quite a long time for them to go through the selection process. So in each round, probably you need to make yourself free, because maybe they will invite you to go to their office to have a face-to-face interview. And so if you have going to have any plan for sightseeing abroad during the holidays, so make sure that you may have take a risk to miss the chance of interview. And other than that, once you got it over, because it's a kind of credit-bearing internship, so we have different kind of orientation for you. And so you have to mark on your schedule, on your diary, about all these important days. And so once you confirm and make sure that you are available, and you can apply now. Okay. Yes. So in your first page about your personal particulars. And so probably in our system, once you log into our system, all your most of your personal particulars have already been put on the list. But of course, we have left some box for you to fill in. Particularly, very important, your email. We make sure it is the correct one, because all your offers will be informed through your Hong Kong U email. Very important, and you have to confirm your offer on the system. Okay, and the next step is very important, to select your interested place. Okay, say, okay, you can type in, okay, KPMG, and there are 4 different topics. And you can see the quotas left and how many competitors have already applied. And you can see the degree of competitors and see the job details. And maybe if you like to apply the ESG one, okay, and I click select. Okay, I select 1. Remember, you can select maximum up to 3 placement, and you can select another one. Okay, and maybe I select yes, GrowCo. Yes, is that correct? Yes, GrowCo, and I select 2. Okay, I leave it here. Okay, it's up to you. If you like to just, I have only two placement I feel interested in, and you can just leave it here and go to the next step. Remember, we have 2 different boxes for you to fill in your personal statement. It's a kind of tailor-made one, so that you can see I select 2 placements, and we have 2 different boxes for you to fill in your personal statement. Okay, you can see the choice 1 is the KPMG stuff, and so you should write a personal statement particularly tailor-made for KPMG, and choice 2 for GrowCo projects, and you should write another one for the GrowCo projects. Okay, so make sure that you have a more chance to get into the offer. And you can upload additional documents. It depends on the any special requirement by the company partners. If they have requested you to upload additional documents, particularly maybe Chinese CV, so you should put it here. Otherwise, you need not to upload any supporting documents. Okay, particularly some students may like to upload your transcript or other supporting documents. You need not to do so at this stage. Only for those students you are required to do so, you can upload here. And personal skills, language, you have different languages, so we have other languages, 1, 2, 3. And very important, IT skills and other different skills, relevant skills. And awards and exchange studies, as well as, very important, work experience, including voluntary works, because some of you may not have any work experience before. So you may have been volunteers in different communities, organizations, so you can put it here, or even including those experience in the campus. Maybe you have been the student representatives for some student society, the chairperson of a student society, so you can still put it here. Okay, so further, you have extracurricular activities. Also, before you submit, you can have a review of all the information you have provide and declaration. And remember, once you press submit, it's a submit. That means that you can't go back to revise your submission. So make sure that all your submission and all the information you provide are correct. Okay, and then you go to submit. Okay? So this is an online system. And so go back here. So remember, you can choose up to 3 placements. Remember, in sequence. Okay? That means that in the first round, we will just send the top one for the partners to consider. Okay, so the second choice will go to round 2. If there's then you still have some quota left. So you remember, you should not, and we will not allow you to revise your submission once it has been submitted. So make sure that all information are correct. And remember, as mentioned, by the past interns. So some of the interviews may not be scheduled. So they may just call you directly and just conduct an instant and pop-up interview. So once you have submitted your application, so you have to well prepare, okay, to avoid any sudden call and instant interview. Of course, most of the interviews should be and will be scheduled, and they will ask you to come to their office and conduct some face-to-face interview. And for some students, maybe you are going to have, I'm not sure, I suppose of you here, and so you will be in Hong Kong, but some of you may go to have overseas trips during the semester, and it crash with the selection period. But don't worry, of course, I encourage you to avoid this case, but it can't be avoided, so don't worry, because the community partner can still contact with you through email, and so that some Skype interview may be possible. And so you can communicate with the partners to see their interview arrangement. Okay, so in each round, we have about 3 weeks for the round 1 and 2 weeks for the second and third round. So particularly for the first week, first round, because we have plenty of applicants and probably the partners need more time for them to select. So we have more time for them to select in the first round. And after each round, all students will be informed the results through your Hong Kong U email. So remember to check your email after each round and confirm your offer. Very important. After each round, we will announce the results through email, and you go back to our online system to confirm your offer. Otherwise, we will consider you just don't like it and just decline. We will automatically decline your offer. Okay, after if you don't do any action, take any action. Okay, remember, it's very important. If we just leave you maybe 2 to 3 days for you to proceed these process. If you don't do any action, and we will just leave this place for other candidates. And for the unsuccessful application, and if, as I mentioned, you can choose more than one. Okay, if you like, for example, in my application, I choose GlocalClose as my second choice. If my first application in KPMG is unsuccessful, then it depends. If GlocalClose, they still have place, and we will move forward your application to my second choice. Okay, so you need not to do anything. Okay, even your first choice is unsuccessful, but we will still send email to you to inform you what we will going to do in the second round. But unfortunately, this is the scenario 2. If unfortunately my choice as second choice in GlocalClose, it has already been filled out by other students. Okay, so but I haven't saw any third choice, right, in my application. So you need to add additional choice in the system, okay, during the period between round 1 and round 2. Okay, you have to show additional choice for me, for the faculty to process. Otherwise, we will assume that you don't like to do your internship this time and withdraw from the entire application. Okay, very important. So please make sure that all the important days of the application. So remember, as mentioned by Alice, it's very important that, okay, they will look on your CV, your strengths, your skills, your passions. So here, only here, CGPA is not everything. And so you should pay more attention to your capacity, your interests, and show all your strengths and skills in your CV and personal statement, including, I mentioned, the voluntary works experience and other practical skills. Of course, you need to check the quotas of the particular those placements to see the competitiveness of this placement, to see whether they increase your chance to get a place. And some of the final remarks for me, select your CP carefully. Of course, you should identify your strengths and interests, whether it's suit the needs of the community partners. So you need to read the internship booklet carefully to find out the most suitable one. And very important, today is the only chance for you to talk with the representatives of the community partners face-to-face, to consult them, to see their advice, to see their expectation, to whether your strengths and interests and suit their needs or not. And other than that, other than today's opportunity, you should not go to approach the CP because we have, each year we have more than 400 students to apply our internship. So, so we will send your application to them, but you should not approach them by yourself, okay? They will approach you if they find that your application is interested. Second, if you feel that you are not that familiar with your CV writing skills, or you feel puzzled on the interview, so don't worry, we'll have arranged a workshop on CV writing and interview skills, so you can register here, and we have this workshop on coming Thursday in Social Sciences Chamber, and we will have a detailed briefing and training to facilitate your CV writing. And for those students who would like to apply the non-local internship, as mentioned, very important because, you know, Hong Kong people, we have plenty different kind of passports and nationality. So I don't know, the faculty do not know the particular situation of students. So you have to check with the respective consulate general to see the visa application procedures and restriction, okay, on your nationalities. And different countries have their own policy. Maybe they just ask you to apply a tourist visa is fine, but most of them, they require you to apply a work visa, okay? You know, or you have to know the procedures before you apply. But at this moment, for you to, in the application period, you need not to apply at this moment because you haven't got an offer, right? You haven't got an offer, so you need not to apply right now. You apply after you confirm the offer. And the faculty will give you a letter to confirm for this internship, so that you, with this letter of confirmation, you can process your application of your CV, of your visa. And once you got this letter, process as soon as possible. Do not wait until last minute, because some countries may require up to more than 3 months to process. Okay, and some students at the end, because they just feel that it doesn't matter and just wait, and they probably will lose these opportunities. And the community partners, they won't responsible for that, and they can't do it for you. Lastly, you should pay attention, not only the application days, but all other important days, including the orientations and also the presentation. As mentioned, one of the very important change of this year is the presentation sections, because some students, for non-local students, and maybe you come to work in Hong Kong, probably you would like to present earlier, and maybe some students that you have other plans and you would like to present in the middle of August, or even you would like to come present once the next academic year begins. So it depends on your choice, but we assume that most of the students should present in the main section. So that's you probably, your academic tutor will be your assessor, and it's more possible for us to arrange other students from the relevant or related community partners to present with you, so that this is a more fruitful experience. So we encourage students to present in the main section, okay? And for the alternative section 2 is only for other students except the final year student, because you can see it's September 3rd and it is too late for the final year students. Okay, so this is the case for local and non-local internship. But for those students, if you like to apply the SLI and also GLOCO, and they have a specific presentation date, and you can't choose, and you have designated dates. So marked on your schedule. Okay, and I pass the mic to Professor Samson See for the final and concluding remark.
What I would like to do is to show you the result we did. Okay, here we go. When you look at this result, we had about, well, not about, we had 109 participants taking part in this simple survey. And what it shows is we had 22% of the total consider specific tasks as the important factor when they choose which one to go to. I am very pleased with this result, and I would encourage you to do exactly that. What it means is when we finish this session, you will get a booklet, and the booklet itself is also available on the portal in PDF. How it works is you go to each company, and also each company has a specific job descriptions. And we work quite hard with the company and to make sure the job descriptions are meaningful, are useful. So to go with this survey result, I would encourage you to consider that as one of the important considerations. And then the other is to do with any specific issues you are interested in, and also may be very keen to apply your academic knowledge in the real world. On this note, I want to let you know, as far as the social sciences faculty is concerned, relatively we do have quite a large number of students majoring in counseling, psychology, and so forth. So you can expect quite a number of students keen to get to that field. So in that regard, this particular kind of places may be quite comparative. Number two, I want to remind you again, you may not be going to a field match your particular major. Don't be disappointed. Don't be disappointed, because with our internship, it will be a very good opportunity to explore your value and interest, and that may give you a very good out of comfort zone experience as well. I guess the last remark I want to draw from this survey, very pleased, only sort of 12% students are thinking, I only go to those places, I can easily get a place. Well, guys, I think what it signals is good on you not sort of leaning too heavily on this consideration. I guess the flip side of the coin is it's not about whether a place is easy to secure. It's about how good you have prepared yourself for the selection. I love the sharing from Daniel and Haken. Sometimes the telephone interview in particular comes to visit you when you are not prepared. Okay, so think about that. Not necessarily a place easy to secure, but how good you have prepared for yourself for the CV, and also a tip from the ex-students saying maybe to articulate what sort of talent, skills, creativity, innovations you may bring to the placement. That may give a merit to your application as well. Guys, can you do exactly that? Well, I guess my way to conclude the session is I want to put on this jacket. Well, there is important material from sort of putting on this jacket movement. You know, I have a pin here, and in Chinese it reads 師友, okay? What it means is teacher as teacher, but also teacher is your mentor and also teacher to support your learning. My way to conclude is the following. Number one, the teachers here is, we are here to help you, teachers from the experiential team and also the teachers to be assigned to support your internship. Number two, I really like Alice's earlier remark about going to places that may match your career aspiration. I think another argument is to say, well, the internship may be a good way to path myself to a job or to a career. But at the same time, when we look at, for example, the career counseling, career guidance website, for example, they will tell you there are some myths surrounding finding a job. A career education, a career assessor will not be able to tell you your exact talent. The best way to find it is to go to a workplace and to find out your interests and also your talents and aspirations. Okay, I'm going to finish. My last sentence is, on the one hand, no question asked, undoubtedly, the faculty, the team works very hard to secure the best learning opportunity. Knowing in reality, things may go wrong. A supervisor may be pregnant. Well, it's not go wrong, it's go well, actually. So supervisor get pregnant, or supervisors leave the job, or there may be some rapid cycling of supervisors. Are you guys with me? For example, you sign up, you go to a project, they advertise it will be a video production project. You love it, you go for it. But because of all circumstances, I'm sorry, that job is no longer available. Okay, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to encourage you is, listen, don't leave yourself as the victim of your placement. In other words, when things go wrong or things could be better arranged, do let us know. Your 2 months learning is absolutely precious, okay? And we want to work together with you, not just a passive recipient, and to problem solve the situation when you are in the field, okay? Local or non-local, we will do exactly that. I stop here. Basically, prepare yourself. When things go wrong, stay and working with us. Shall we put our hands together, put together a session like this? Keeps your preparation work, okay? So we'll finish here. What is going to happen is you will go out and grab a book, and also we have a good display of the jobs available. The most important part is we do have a good number of community partner colleagues taking part in the meeting, and they love to meet you. We have rows of colleagues joining us, okay? Please grasp the opportunity and talk to people.
Thank you, Samson. So as what Samson suggests, we now end with the main sessions here, and now we'll all go together outside of the area that just near the lobby area. You will see the internship exhibition board. They are colorful, and you can see it right away. And then remember to pick up your booklet outside the lobby as well. And look for the name tags. So if they are our community partners or teachers, so you can just feel free to talk with them, to speak with them about your expectation and everything else. So you can now proceed outside.